So let's talk about Rohingya and I might say Rohingya crisis. It started back in obviously 2017 when this all things happened under Suu Kyi government in Myanmar, and in Myanmar, I mean she uh, started this genocide against Rohingyas. Because of her, many fled to Bangladesh, millions of them obviously. So from obviously then it was the Hasina government who gave them shelter obviously, but obviously they lived there, I mean quite uh, in a suffocating way, I guess I might use the word, because I mean it wasn't much help from her government. But obviously time to time she claimed, Sheikh Hasina claimed, the former Prime Minister of Bangladesh claimed that she gave them much protection, much things to live by. But obviously, many international organizations found that there were abduction, there were, I mean, post marriage, there were, uh, I mean, ill treatment, there were killings also. Those things happened there. Sheikh Hasina actually asked for the support from the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi. Also, she asked for the support of many Western countries. She also asked for the support of the UN to ask the Myanmar government to take them back. So these things happened, but at the same time, she also at some point felt that it was a burden for her to take them much longer. They have to go back to their country. This is Hasina. She was saying that the Rohingyas became a burden for Bangladesh, and she asked them to go back in a way.
Rohingya, yes, on humanitarian ground, we give them shelter and providing everything. But during this COVID, we vaccinated all the Rohingya community. But how long they will stay here? So, in the camp they are staying, our environment hazard is there. Then some people engaged in drug trafficking or some arms conflict, women trafficking. Day by day it is increasing. So as quick as they return home, it is good for our country and also for Myanmar.
So yeah, she was basically saying that the sooner they go, it's better for Bangladesh. So yeah, I mean that was her, and now it's the government change in Bangladesh, obviously. So there was, I mean, hope from the beginning that Yunus government will provide them much help, much needed help, obviously. But at the same time, it doesn't look like they are living a very healthy life there. There are some issues obviously, and it looks like there, I mean, more will come because of the, I mean, civil war is happening in Myanmar, you know between the Arakans and the junta. So I mean it's quite
Yeah.
sad for the Rohingyas, and I don't know how you see this from this time on. And if you ask me, it looks like it gonna go worse from now.
So first thing is it's although things shifted from 2017, but it goes back a long time ago. So it's in the 40s when the British left this area. They created this kind of pocket issues among countries. The division that we call Deshbhag, meaning like the division of the Indian subcontinent into different countries. So this is a direct result of this kind of division. Uh, so this Rohingya minority, they have been persecuted for a very long time in the Rakhine area. They have some issues with the majority people there, and they have been crossing over for almost 3 or 4 decades into Bangladesh. But it is started uh, it is started increasing from 2017 when there is a large scale exodus happened by violence and persecution in the Myanmar area, in the Rakhine area. So far, the international community has been providing a much needed support financially and in other areas as well. So the Rohingya camp where the Rohingya people are staying. Uh, so although I am not saying that this is an ideal situation, if you have to leave your country, go into another country, live in a refugee camp, that's definitely not an ideal situation. But uh, it is the best they are getting. Is like there is no famine. They are getting food and basic needs. Obviously, they are not getting all the things that they would love, but they are getting what is needed. The basic needs are supported by Bangladeshi government with the help of international community. Uh, there are sporadic or violence on other issues, but they are like comparatively they are not very high number of these situations. So it's mostly peaceful area. That is things. The important part is what will happen in future. Will they be able to go back? Will they be able to go back to their homes where they built their house, to their cultivation land or their farms and other things? So that area is like very uncertain. There is no certainty going on, especially right now the civil war between the Arakan army and the rebel Arakan army and the government-led military. So it looks like they are not going back anywhere soon. Uh, the Bangladesh government has a commitment, even if the previous prime minister was asking about when they will be able to go, but in reality, uh, we never push back a single Rohingya back to their countries where they might face even worse situation than what they're facing in the Rohingya camp. And the commitment is still there. So Bangladesh government, with the help of international community, they'll be supporting them here. And the important thing is that the Rohingyas get a safe return to their country. So that's number one. And even if government changes, that commitment has never changed. And but the problem here is there are several faults. Number one is how long the international community will also support. So far, there is no issue, but you never know when the international community or the UN or other organization might decide to reduce, or even if they do not cut it completely, they might reduce their support. So at that time, there will be some difficulty. Number two is like if they cannot go back soon, so soon there will be new generation who's for them this refugee camp is their home. This is where they are born. So for them, returning to Myanmar, returning to their home is not that emotional attachment is there because they are not emotionally attached to their homeland. And even those who came back, they're afraid to go back. Uh, for Bangladesh, supporting this 1.2 or 1.4 million Rohingya in the thing with the help of international community is not a problem. That's not a major uh, problem here, although there are some allegations of criminal activity and other things. it's very natural because these people do not have any income generating activities. They are out of their home, so obviously there will be some of these issues. But the challenge is like, if what will happen to them? Bangladesh cannot accept them as or transform them into local citizens, because that will encourage a lot of other people to come here. So that's a very dangerous thing that will happen, and that should not be. So international community needs to put some pressure on the Myanmar side. Uh, the situation right now is very, I should say, complex with the civil war going on. Now the Rohingyas there, which side they are taking, that is a very much needed question that we need to ask. Uh, Another issue is it looks like the rebel fraction is gaining ground or gaining momentum in the Rakhine area. So maybe soon they will be controlling that area. So if the Rohingya needs to return, so there should be a dialogue with them. The challenge is, as a government, Bangladesh government cannot actually enter into a formal dialogue with a rebel fraction of a neighboring country who is not recognized. So situation is quite complex, as you understand.
Sure. The question is, when can they return? When will they return? This is obviously a question, and also this is also, I don't know. I don't want to use the word burden because Muhammad Yunus didn't use this word as so far. He obviously wants them to go back to their country, but I mean, he is dealing with the situation in a much different way than Hasina, I think, because obviously 180,000 names they are there, and he sent this list to Myanmar. To Myanmar, saying that okay, these are the people that are eligible to go to their homeland. So this is Muhammad Yunus actually. This is from DW. Bangladesh eyes Rohingya return, but hurdles remain. This is an article that's been written, few days ago, and it's here. There is a quote of Muhammad Yunus. He is basically saying that we pray to Allah that next Eid you can celebrate in your homes in Myanmar. So he's like, obviously he's like wants them to go back. He's like wants them to have a safe return to back to their country. So yeah, so this is what they want. But the challenge is what will happen to the uneligible, ones, the Rohingyas. So what will happen to them? How the Bangladeshi government will handle this situation from now on, or even after that? Because there are many of them. Without getting help from India, without getting help from other countries, without getting help from international organizations, uh, where these people will go?
So the eligibility thing came up from like, who wants to go back with the situation that is not suitable, I should say. Uh, but they still want to go back because this is their home. Nobody wants to live in a refugee camp. And if situation or security situation improves, I think majority are willing to go back. So this is a situation. These 118,000, they want to go back no matter what. And if security situation improves, you will see maybe majority will express their willingness to go back. So this is important that they get the security and also commitment from the Myanmar side that they will not face similar persecution or situation that forces them to cross over to Bangladesh and stay in a refugee camp. So this is the number one thing. Uh, it is not a burden, I should say. Nobody is causing, but obviously, as a very crowded country or densely populated country, uh, this is putting some stress on our resources, land area. Obviously, UN is helping with the food and humanitarian aid and other things, but the refugee camp is occupying a large land area in the Cox's Bazar area, and so that is a difficult situation. And the area that is occupying is Cox's Bazar is a hilly area, so we don't have much cultivable land there, and that land that is occupied for the refugee camp is actually putting some pressure on that. So there is a internal pressure on the government to solve this situation. It's not about forcing them on pushing them back. That we'll never do. We don't want to do. We want a safe return, not to push them back in a difficult situation. So one of the thing is, if the Arakan army can control a major area, and there is a negotiation with them, because they are fighting against the military government who is responsible for this situation mainly. This is the military actually pushed them back. So maybe situation might change if they can gain more ground, or this is a very good opportunity for the Arakan army to establish and get recognition from the international community by uh, by arranging a safe return of the Rohingyas, because otherwise they will have a very hard time getting international recognition or even support from anybody. But if they can solve this problem, definitely they will get a lot of international support. I think the most of the Western world, even India and the Western world will recognize this effort. Anybody from the Myanmar side who can ensure security for the Rohingyas will get a big boost. So that they should be looking for.
Let's talk about the economic side of it. Bangladesh is obviously a kind of a poor country. Not kind of a, is a poor country in a way. So,
Mhm.
I mean, how the Bangladeshis are coping with these people, the Rohingyas. I mean, they are living in Cox's Bazar. I mean, the people in Cox's Bazar I mean, they are hospitable towards them, or they are like kind of hostile towards them. The situation there. Can you just describe to me?
Yeah. So first thing is, like, historically we understand the pain and trauma that is associated when you have to take shelter in a different country. So during our liberation war in 1971, a lot of people actually have to go to India for shelter against Pakistani military. So we understand the pain. So people are sympathetic to these people. Uh, and initially, when there are a less number of people coming up, the small refugee camp was all we need. Uh, Fortunately, the area where the camp was built, it's not very crowded area. So Cox's Bazar is not one of the crowded area. We also uh, trying to arrange some other camps in some other islands, which is not occupied by our people. So that should reduce the stress on that. Uh, the food and humanitarian support is mostly supported by UN and its other organizations. So it's not putting too much pressure on that. But uh, where it is putting pressure is these people uh, are there for a very long time. So they don't have any economic activity. So sometimes there is a tendency to engage into some illegal activities, maybe smuggling or human trafficking and other things. It's not out of control. It is still under control, but the local people have a fear that they might that may go out of control if the situation remains like this. You see, Bangladeshi people, when they crossed to India in 1971, they came back within a year. It is a 9-month war, and most of the people came back. So that didn't put any pressure uh, on the local situation. Yes, economically, yes, but on the local resources, not much. But in this situation, this is one concern. So I will not say we are hostile, but there is a concern among the local people. Uh, we don't have any incidents where locals and Rohingyas clashed. That's a very good sign. But the concern have to be addressed sooner or later, like it should be there. Uh, so far, the number of people that we have, it is quite controlled in a refugee camp. There are some international organization, some NGOs are working there. Uh, WFP is also working there. Government also ensuring security there. So far, it is under control, but the challenge is you never know. Let's say some hypothetical scenario: if the fighting between the Arakan army and military goes out of control, and we have another 1 million people coming in, so that will be very difficult to support. So that's a like challenge that we have to take care.
Right. Do you think there is a difference between the government's, I mean, the Hasina's treatment of Rohingyas or and Yunus's treatment of Rohingyas? I mean, there is a difference there. I mean, some might say that okay, Hasina did a good job when it comes to Rohingyas in some ways. Also, there are people who might say, okay, Yunus is dealing it in a better way. So, do you think any contrast between them, like that you can say that okay,
Yeah,
no, this person, I mean, the Yunus is doing a better job
it is difficult to
in
say
terms
better.
of dealing with the crisis. I mean, sending them safely home. He's not panicking. He's not asking for help from India. I mean, Hasina was quite vocal about it. To ask for help from India or other countries. Yunus is quite like calm to handle this situation in a very calm way, I guess. So, what's your take on that?
So, in terms of the geopolitical scenario, obviously, Hasina was like maintained a good relationship with India, and so asking for support is a natural thing because we have a very long border with India, and Indian support can be crucial, should be crucial to solve this issue. Uh, so, but Hasina was like balancing China and India in a very delicate way. So even if she's asking for support from India, but in Myanmar, the major player is China. So the military government is supported by China. Even the rebels are maintaining relationship with China. So that's one thing. Uh, if you look at the diplomatic relationship, Dr. Yunus have a better understanding or relationship with the Western world. Uh, uh, and he's not relying on only one or two parties. He's trying to restart the whole process uh, to put some pressure on the Myanmar side through by maintaining a relationship with China and the Western world and others. Uh, but as I said earlier, it's the commitment is similar. Commitment is like whoever is in our country will be supporting them as long as it is needed. But Dr. Yunus is probably maintaining that we should start the return process as soon as possible. That area, the previous government was not very vocal. I mean, she was vocal, but the actual progress was very less. Uh, like we have been doing meeting with Myanmar, but no significant progress was made. But probably Dr. Yunus will be able to do better on that side.
So there is a hope there, obviously.
Yeah, that so there is a you see, Dr. Yunus is also from the Chittagong area, which is like the area where the refugee camp is.
Right.
So when he first went there, he gave a speech in the local dialect, in the
Mm-hmm.
local language. You know, Chittagong area, it is still considered as Bengali language, but it's a very different dialect. Not many people understand that. So, as a local person, he has a better understanding of the situation, and also he can talk in a better way with the Rohingyas and the local people because he understands their language and culture as better than anybody else, I should say. So that's why this 118,000 people list was prepared because um, he actually gave them the assurance that yes, you can go back and probably we can make a deal with the Myanmar side. So you should go back. Uh, that assurance was not there previously. So Rohingyas were like very reluctant to go back earlier. So yeah, maybe even if we can, even if like 100 Rohingya can go back to their home, that will be a big success. I don't see all 1 million going back within a year, but the process should start.